Okay, so today we are going to talk about a very, very important trading concept that this is the thing. I don't know where I got this from, but this is one of my favorite trading concepts. And I seriously do believe that if you understand this, you will be able to understand who is selling you a scam that is not profitable versus someone who is actually trying to teach you how to become profitable. And a lot of this bootcamp is going to be around this, because the last thing I want you to do is have unrealistic expectations in trading. Believe me, unrealistic expectations in trading is what is going to be the demise of you. And so the trading trifecta, this is something that I honed in on a lot, and I hone in on a lot inside of my community, which is that trading, there always has to be a balance between three things: trade frequency, strike rate, and risk to reward. What I mean by this is that you can pick two out of the three. You cannot pick the three. But so many people try to sell you all three at the same time, because all three is the goal of every single trader. You want an amazing risk to reward. You want to have a 1 to 5. You want a 1 to 5 every single week, if not every single day, and you want a high strike rate. You don't want to have any losing streaks. And I think that that is the exact opposite way on how to go about it, because most traders, they don't understand that if you have a high risk reward, the market can't just give you a high risk reward, a high strike rate, and high trade frequency. You'll be a trillionaire in 2 years, right? In 2 years, you can become a trillionaire, right? And there's no trillionaire traders, right? It's very rare that you have a billionaire trader. And a billionaire trader is not a billionaire because of his trading returns. It's about the money that he's managing and the cut that he's taking. Right? There's no trading billionaires that made it from an account like we have access to a billion. It's not going to happen. So that means that if someone is selling you the strategy that is going to get you to a billionaire in a couple of months, a couple of years even, that strategy is not real. I see this a lot with traders that have a high risk to reward. I know for a fact that traders with high risk to reward are also traders that are not profitable, because they do not show you all of the losses that they take. And this is the problem, because you get sold this idea that, oh, this person knows how to have a high risk to reward. What they don't show you is the amount of losses that they take in between. And that is really the issue, right? Because a lot of traders, they get lured in because they want all of these three things. And then I started thinking, well, how can I increase my strike rate? If I want to have a 90% strike rate, what can I do? If I want a 90% strike rate, I can be extremely picky about my trades, and I can reduce the risk to reward that I'm taking. But then it shows exactly what the trading trifecta is. Right? Because if you want a high risk reward and you want a high strike rate, you're going to have one trade a month, one trade a year maybe. Because the market cannot simply always give you a high risk to reward and a high strike rate and high trade frequency. Because there's not even as many high quality setups for you to take in line with a trading plan that is going to give you all of these three. There are times where the market is range bound, which means that if your average stop loss, even if your average stop loss, let's say it's 10 pips, not every week are you going to have a 50 pip range in which you grab the high and you take profits at the low. Do you know how impossible that is? That's absolutely impossible. But if you tell me that your stop loss is 10 pips and your TP is 3, which means you have a 0.3 risk to reward, then I'll say most likely you have a trade every single day. Could be, because the market eventually moves 3 pips. And you can have an average strike rate with that. Well, you should have a high strike rate, else you're not going to be profitable. But it's important for you to understand that trading is always a balance. It's impossible not to have that balance, because the market is efficient. The market looks for efficiency, right? That's why the market moves up, moves down, moves up, moves down, moves up, moves down. It's efficient. It can't just move up, right? It's impossible for the market to just move up. And so when I say these kind of things, is to warn you that the trading trifecta is the most real concept that you will learn in trading. And I'm already teaching you this. I'm already saying, hey, it's a balance between all these three. And it was funny because I mentioned in the podcast, if I want my next trade to be a winner, I can make sure that my next trade is a winner. And the people that don't believe me, they're going to be like, oh, what is this guy talking about? Blah, blah, blah. What is this guy talking about? While the people that look a little bit further, they understand that what I'm saying is that, let's say you want a 99% strike rate. Because this is so extreme, because the strike rate is so extreme, you're going to have to completely reduce your trade frequency and completely reduce your risk to reward. That means that if I want my next trade to be a winner, right now, this is the weekend, but if I want my next trade to be a winner, what I am going to do is I'm going to come here, I'm going to short this, have my stop loss to be extremely, extremely large, have my stop loss be extremely, extremely large, and my take profit extremely, extremely small. So without you noticing, like that, you can have a 100% strike rate. But what is the problem with this? Let's say we do it like this. The problem is you have no risk to reward. Let's switch these around. Let's do this. Okay. I want my next trade to be a winner. This is exactly what I'm going to do. Huge stop loss, which means let's even say 1 to, I'm not even going to take a 1 to 0.05. But notice how the trade is currently in profit. Let's do this. The trade is currently in profit. As the trade was in profit right here, you would close it. But what risk to reward is this? This is basically a zero risk to reward. Well, let's say 0.01. So let's reduce the stop loss a little bit. So let's do this. So if I want my next trade to be a winner, I would do something like this, where you have a 0.01 risk to reward. Because that would guarantee that my next trade is going to be a winner. But what am I doing? I am basically cranking this up so much that this has to be cranked down so much that it doesn't make sense. You're not a trader like this. You are not. You're basically, it's the positions, right? So what I'm trying to mention here is that the market is always going to balance all of these out. So let's say the strategy that we are going to be talking about in this bootcamp is not going to be a high risk to reward strategy. Listen, I want to make you guys be profitable. I want you to be able to watch this video. I want you to be able to watch this bootcamp and be like, from here on out, I can be profitable if I follow this. What people are charging for, I'm giving you all for free, right? But I'm not going to give you a 1 to 10. I am not. I'm not going to give you a 1 to 5. Heck, I'm not going to give you a 1 to 3. I'm going to give you a strategy that on average is maybe going to give you, on a good winning trade, is going to give you a 1 to 2. Good winning trades might give you more. They might give you a 1 to 3, 1 to 4. But again, you're increasing the risk reward and you want to keep a good strike rate. So you're going to have a lower trade frequency. It's normal, right? It's normal. Again, it's the balance. So not all of your trades, because you're reducing the trade frequency on those, are going to be a 1 to 3. There's going to be the possibility of taking 1 to 3s, maybe 1 to 4s. Those are going to be rare. But most of our trades are going to be 1 to 2s. 1 to 2s, let's even say 1 to 1.5. But understand that that for you to have a 1 to 1.5, basically you only need a 40% win rate for you to be break even. And the strategy that I'm going to be telling you about is going to be a high strike rate strategy. And the reason why I want to give you a high strike rate is because most of the psychology problems come from losing streaks, right? So most of your psychology problems come from losing streaks, from losing and not knowing what the next trade is going to do. That's why I'm trying to give you a strategy in which you can take control. That's why I'm teaching you the trading trifecta, for you to understand that you can take control of your trading results, but you cannot take full control of your trading results. You can take control of parts of your strategy. Okay, do you want a higher risk to reward? Then focus on only high probability setups. It's going to be once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 4 weeks. But if you really do desire this high strike rate and if you really do desire this high risk to reward, then you're going to have to sacrifice on the trade frequency. Same thing on the strike rate. If you desire the high strike rate, you are going to have to be more selective on your trades. And everything is going to be here. Everything that is going to tell you the direction, the probability of a trade, everything that is going to tell you the areas in which you should be trading, the high value areas in which you should be taking a trade from, it's all going to be here. But you need to understand that if you come into this with the idea that I'm going to give you a high risk to reward, a high strike rate, and a high trade frequency strategy, you can leave. Go watch someone else that will blatantly lie to your face. Go watch someone else's video that is going to lie to you and say you can have this 1 to 5 consistently. How come all of these traders that were trading on the 1 minute, on the 1 minute on FX, having these 1 to 10s, 1 to 30s, all of these consistent high risk reward strategies, where are they all now? Where are all of the guys that were so successful trading the 1 minute with such high risk rewards? Where are they now? Oh, they're trading the 15 minute. How come? Why are they trading the 15 minute? Maybe it's because they weren't telling you the whole thing. They weren't telling you all of the losing streaks that they were facing. They were not telling you all of the small strike rates, all the huge losing streaks due to the low strike rate that they had. They were not telling you that the risk reward was actually not a 1 to 10 because they took partials at a 1 to 2. And actually a 1 to 10 is only like a 1 to 3. So you would be better off taking full profits at 1 to 3 than someone that claims to have a 1 to 10. Where are all of those traders now? Oh, they're trading higher time frames. How come? Why is that? Well, maybe it's because it never worked. And this is coming from someone that has already tried trading the 1 minute. I've traded the seconds charts on FX. And let me tell you, yes, I passed some challenges. Yes, my biggest payout came from that. But then it was all downhill because I couldn't manage my emotions during the losing streaks. I couldn't reach consistent profitability. And here I was. I was like, no, but I want the high risk reward. Oh, do you? Interesting. So you want to remain unprofitable? No, you need to understand that with the trading trifecta, you can choose 2. You can pick 2. And what I'm going to be giving you here is an average risk to reward. And 1 to 2 is already high, by the way. I'm going to give you a good strike rate. We're talking 60 to 70% strike rate. Now, how can you have a 70% strike rate? Well, you reduce the trade frequency. You want a 50% strike rate? If you want a 50% strike rate, you can have an okay trade frequency. Right? I'm telling you, this is going to be all up to you. The strike rate that you want, I can give you a strategy that is going to have 50 to 70% strike rate. All of the rest is going to be defined on how risk adverse you are. Because in trade frequency, you can have anything from 1 to 3/4, or let's say 3.5, 3.5 trades per week. And you're going to have an average risk to reward of 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5. It's not going to be over the top. The strike rate is going to be good. I would tell you, by the way, It's okay that it's going to tend mostly towards 50%. You're not going to have, unless you really reduce your trade frequency, you're not going to have a high strike rate, right? Because again, a high strike rate, like a 70% strike rate, it really requires a lot of filtering the trades that you are going to take. And having, like, for example, for me, I've entered a look, oh, full TP, 0.01. See, like it's not hard. But let's understand something. The reason this year I've had such a high strike rate with a 1 to 1.7 R, which by the way, 1 to 1.7, I only need a 37% strike rate to be profitable. Yet I am able, this year I've been able to have basically a 65% strike rate. It came to show that the reason why that happened this year was because my strike rate is great. We're talking 65%. My risk to reward is great. It's 1 to 2. Well, let's say no. Let's actually say 1 to 1.6. 1 to 1.6. But my trade frequency has been 1 a week, right? And I don't really want you guys to do 1 a week because I want you to have more experience with this and I want you to pass challenges. And I'm going to give you multiple ways for you to trade more aggressively and be able to skew this to maybe have a lower strike rate and you're going to have a good risk reward, but have a higher trade frequency. But let me show you. That if you start with a $1,000 account and you have a win rate of 50%, and you have the win rate that I currently have, 65%, with a 1, when you risk 1 and you get 1.5 back, and you get 100 trades, at the end of 100 trades, you are going to be doubling your money. There's in no way is this unprofitable. All of the equity curves are going to be profitable with all the random results, right? So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that the trading trifecta is going to rule your trading. My question to you is, okay, how high of a strike rate do you really want? How high of a risk reward do you really want? As long as you understand that you have your risk reward, decide your risk reward, you'll see what you are going to be sacrificing on. You want a 1 to 10, you're going to have an extremely low strike rate. You want 5 trades a day, you're going to have a really low strike rate, right? So you need to balance your expectations out. If you want a lot of trades, you are going to have to sacrifice either on the strike rate or on the risk reward, right? And if you think that 1 to 3 is a bad risk reward, you're in for a rough time in trading. Extremely rough time in trading. Extremely rough time in trading. Yes, I said it 3 times. That's how much I know that is the case. So many traders get lost because they want the high risk to reward and they don't understand what they're sacrificing with that. And then you enter in a losing streak, which is extremely normal. And then there you go. You think that you didn't get it. You change your strategy, boom, 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 while everything was just in line with your strategy. But the trading trifecta messed you up. So what I'm going to be giving you here is going to be a strategy with a good risk reward. I'm going to give you a strategy with a good strike rate. I'm going to explain to you all of it, the probability of a trade, what areas for you to trade on. And I'm going to give you a strategy with a good trade frequency. Expect 3 trades a week. I would say you can have 3 trades a week depending on the pairs that you are going to be trading, right? So with that being said, this is a very important video before we go into the important concepts for you to master, right? Because so many people get lost. Like, this is foundations of trading. This is the foundation. If you don't know this, you will get lost. That's what you need to understand. If you don't know this, you will get lost. And I do not want that to happen. I want you to watch this and become profitable. You will not have to pay me. There's going to be options for you to pay me, but you will not have to pay me to become profitable. This is going to be more than enough. So with that, but you will find it bad if you have unrealistic expectations. Believe me, I know I've had so many people go through this and not be profitable because they had unrealistic expectations. Oh, but this person has a higher risk to reward. Oh, but this person has multiple trades a week. Oh, this person has multiple trades a day. Oh yeah, but do they share their real results? Do they really share their results? Like their real results? I've showed you a broker login. I've showed you the broker login. I've fucking showed everything. All these other people, they're like, oh, I have a 1 to 10. And then 1 year after, they're trading the 15-minute. Yeah, you're definitely a transparent trader. Yes. It's so insane. So insane. So with that being said, let's jump now into the sauce, the real sauce. Tomorrow we'll be jumping into the sauce of the strategy. But first, you need to have realistic expectations. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Click right here to watch the next one. And if you are struggling with overtrading, then click right here to check out Trade Blocker. Peace.